We are spending a lot of money on undocumented immigrants in the state right now. So do they think that's more important than preserving our farm legacy, which is our number one industry in the state?
That's State Representative Wayne Rosenthal yesterday during a news conference with fellow Republicans pushing for measures to, quote, save family farms, and one of those being the estate tax. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Get the headlines in your inbox with the newsletter. Go to thecentersquare.com and sign up for that, and it's free. We're a free news wire service. And definitely would appreciate your donations there, so you can find out more by going to thecentersquare.com. So earlier this month, the issue of the estate tax popped up during Ag Day at the Illinois State Fair. You had State Senator Andrew Chesney get up saying he's fighting for either eliminating or reducing the estate tax burden on people. There's a measure at the State House that would increase the threshold where the estate tax kicks in from $4 million to $6 million, giving a bit of a breather room there, because a lot of family farms, they're rich in property, but they don't have a lot of cash on hand. And when the father, say, who owns the farm passes away, and then sends the family the farm, gives them the farm, that family ends up having to pay exorbitant taxes. So they might have to sell off part of the property to be able to pay those taxes from the estate. So, a lot of family farmers looking to get changes there. But Governor J.B. Pritzker, after Chesney made those comments in front of farm leaders during Illinois Ag Day, he was asked about, where are we at on the possibility of changing the estate tax?
Happy to talk about it. He just has to tell us how we're going to pay for it. It's a few $100 million of revenue to the state. So, if he's able to come with his ideas about how to pay for it, then we ought to talk about it.
So maybe cuts, if they say, hey, we'll have a couple $100 million of cuts here, let's do it. Yesterday, at that news conference, I asked Wayne Rosenthal about, the governor says bring some cuts to the table if you want some changes to the state's estate tax.
Do we want to maintain and preserve the family farms, or do we just want to let them go by the wayside? And so that's the critical thing there. So that would be up to him to make that decision whether he wants to maintain the farms or not.
But again, what kinds of cuts are we talking about here? Republicans have been critical of the governor's proposed budget. It's the largest state budget in state history, almost $55 billion in spending and revenues coming in. And it's just 10 years ago or so, the budget was like $35 billion of state money. But here we are in 2025, getting ready to see the largest state spending plan in state history. Surely there's some areas to cut there. Unrelated to the conversation about the estate tax, the Illinois Department of Revenue Director, David Harris, he was in front of a Senate committee talking about the budget for that department. And somebody asked him about, hey, we just got done with April 15th. How are we looking on tax receipts and money coming in from Illinois taxpayers? He says, hey, we've had a pretty good week.
Last week, we deposited more money than we have ever deposited in the history of the Department of Revenue. In one day, we had $1.6 billion in one day. As my staff likes to say, or the person who handles this, that's a lot of scratch.
So a lot of money coming into the state, right? Again, we're looking at spending, like $3 billion more than we spent in the current fiscal year. Looking back on what we're spending on, you've got the non-citizen migrant health care. That's costing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion plus, and all the other costs associated with that. When I asked Rosenthal for what kinds of priorities he would like to see the governor and Democrats who control the General Assembly to change in order to make way for some relief for family farms, that's what he went to. He said, it's the non-citizen spending that's a big drain on taxpayer resources that could be cut to make way for savings so that they can save family farms.
We are spending a lot of money on undocumented immigrants in the state right now. So do they think that's more important than preserving our farm legacy, which is our number one industry in the state?
And the question that Republicans posing is, do you want to prop up non-citizens with taxpayer dollars, or do you want to help family farms in Illinois stay in the family? We'll see if they come together with anything before the end of legislative session. But as we watch and the anticipated costs of getting rid of the state tax, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars potentially at play there. But think about how much that's going to save for family farmers for them to invest more in their farm here in Illinois, right? I know a lot of people talk about, hey, I'm sick of the Illinois politics. I'm leaving the state. Farmers can't just pick up their farmland and move out of Illinois. So it's an interesting predicament. All right. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get the podcast where you get podcasts. Get news headlines in your inbox with the newsletter from thecentersquare.com. And wake up with us here on YouTube for the Center Square and Illinois in Focus Daily.